Kevin McGarry here of Every Black Life Matters. I'm coming to you today with a message of encouragement. An encouragement to join us on our partner site. Why, you say, well, should I join you on your partner site? Well, first of all, there's exclusive content on our partner site. Number two, I'll be launching something that we call letting the cat out of the bag. Well, you may say, well, what does that mean? Well, CAT is an actual acronym, and it means critical analysis thinking. This is something that a new distinction that we created in order to best serve you as partners. So, critical analysis thinking is what we're going to be launching from this site. Now, why would critical analysis thinking be important? And why is it important to you? Well, one of the first things that we should see is that it's very hard to make sense of what's happening in our society today. It's very hard to make sense of what's happening in culture. We have people that are sworn to uphold the Constitution and are just hell-bent, it's seeming, to destroy it. We have pastors that are committed their lives to the Word of God, and yet are seemingly either backing up from that commitment or changing it somewhat to accommodate other theologies. Something is happening, folks, and we have to be able to rationalize what is happening and how to help those that may be suffering from some level of, sort of irrationality. But we can't do anything unless we know how to think critically and how to make appropriate analysis of what's happening. So I'll be on that site engaging our partners with all of the most complex and perplexing issues of the day. We're going to be providing video content that you can actually help, shape with the kinds of subject matter that you want covered. And we're going to critically analyze what's happening and how to make sense of it. So we can actually have answers for people when they come to us. So we can actually make a difference in changing the trajectory of culture and society. So why is critical analysis and critical analytical thinking so important? I found two definitions I'd like to give you real quick. First of all, analytical thinking is the mental process of breaking down complex information. Mental process breaking down complex information or comprehensive data into fundamental parts or basic principles. So we're going to take all of this crazy, wretched information that's coming at us daily. We're going to compartmentalize it and analyze it and break it down into cognitive chunks so we can understand it. Now, the other part of it is the critical thinking part, and that's the most important part. Critical thinking is the mental process of carefully evaluating information and determining how to interpret it in order to make sound judgment. So we put these two together. We'll be analyzing, taking apart what's happening in culture and society, and then we'll basically compartmentalize it to the degree that we'll interpret it in order to make sound judgments about how to accommodate it, how to respond to it. If we thought in our own minds that we can get a handle on what's happening to our society today, the reality is it just doesn't make sense. What's happening in society today is so illogical. It would drive us crazy just to try to figure out how do we fight against it. Critical analysis thinking is going to help us to fight against CRT, help us to respond and fight against CRT, help us to respond and fight against liberation theology and Black liberation theology, help us to respond and appropriately level set people who are social justice warriors. We're going to help them to come along and to see the folly of their ways. We're going to help them to understand that their stance is fundamentally hypocritical. But we can't do that unless we together can reason together. So this letting the cat out of the bag is what we're going to call this particular segment. As you know, letting the cat out of the bag is an idiom. And it's an idiom that basically refers to exposing secrets or exposing things that don't make sense. So we're going to be letting the cat out of the bag about our culture and society and our religious institutions. We're going to fully expose it and break it down so we can be equipped to deal with it. So join me on our partner site. I hope this makes sense to you. I'm looking forward to meeting you there, and I'm looking forward to having really, cat conversations with you. Critical, analytical thinking. I hope you join us. God bless you. We'll see you soon.